Youth Services Librarian here at the Longview Public Library, and I'm here today with our friend Annie from OMSI.
Hi everyone, I'm Annie. I'm an educator at OMSI.
Annie's here to help us with a special series of pre-K packets that are STEM themed. Today we're doing week 2, Sink and Float. What's in our packet this week, Annie?
All right, in your Sink and Float packet, you have about 5 pieces of foil. You have, oh, there's more foil. You have your slip with your activities and rhymes and books. And you have 3 little figurines. And they might look different than that, different colors and different shapes.
Do I need anything from home to do this activity?
Yes, we're sinking and floating, so you will need something water safe that you can put water in. You'll also want some water. And if you want to experiment with a few other items, you might gather some other small water-safe items from around your home. I have some Legos, I've got a marble, I have a key, and I brought a few other little figurine friends along.
Great, thanks.
Yeah. All right, so now that we have all of our materials, let's talk about boats really quickly. Becky, what do you know about boats?
I know that boats float.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the boat is underwater.
Okay.
And some is above the water.
Okay. Can we put things inside of boats?
People.
Okay.
We put stuff on boats to send to other countries.
Yeah.
Sell stuff there.
Yeah,
or to bring it over here.
Yeah, so we can move things around in boats. Before we build our boats, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
This is called sink and float. So let's see which of our things here sink, and let's see if anything floats. Let's go ahead and take turns dropping stuff in the water.
Okay, I want to do this baby.
Do you think it'll sink or float?
I think it'll sink.
Okay, I think this person is going to float. What?
Okay.
Oh, I was wrong.
They
You were
both
right. They
sank.
both sank. Should we drop some more things in?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got?
I've got this yellow person.
Does it matter how you drop it in?
I don't know. Why don't you want to try?
Can this person like float on its back?
No. All right. I found a pom-pom.
Ooh.
You think float?
Float. Yeah.
Oh.
Like a seed floats on the water.
Okay, that's a great idea.
What about this Lego? Will it float?
I think it might depend on how you put it in.
Okay, I'm gonna be very careful.
Okay.
It's floating.
That one floats. Okay.
For now.
For now, exactly. I think everything else might sink. I'll just dump it all in.
But what about this tray?
What?
Oh, this little bear is floating.
Okay, I'm surprised. All right, and this person doesn't escape.
Okay, what about this tray?
Let's try it.
That's like a boat.
It is like a boat. All right, so we have 3 things that floated and a bunch of things. No, 4. I forgot about the bear. 4 things that floated, a bunch of things that sank. Let's see if we can build boats with our tinfoil to hold up all the things that sank.
Wow, okay.
All right, so now we're gonna try and build a boat to keep some of these items afloat in the water so they no longer sink. So go ahead, let's take one of our tinfoil sheets.
Okay.
Yep, and you unfolded it very nicely. And you said when you were talking about boats that some of it goes under the water and some of it stays above, and that there's space to put things inside.
Yes.
So how do we want to shape our boat?
Well, maybe we fold up some sides.
Okay.
Kind of like a raft.
Ooh, that's a good idea. So you might have seen a raft before. You know that it's kind of square and it has sides that come up.
How do I get to the corners?
Oh, okay, so
like
you're
this?
folding the tinfoil. Yep, that looks great. Okay, I'm folding it to make it nice corner on the side. Okay, let's see if it floats. Ta-da! Okay, now let's see if it holds things. I think just... Don't be nervous.
Okay.
It's okay. We have lots of foil to experiment
Okay.
with if it doesn't. Let's put things in one at a time and see how many it can hold before it sinks.
Okay.
Why don't you start with...
I'm going to start with this big person.
All right, big green person. Oh,
Floating.
he even stood up for a minute. All right, I'm going to start with the big blue person. See if I can make them stand up. Nope.
Purple.
Uh,
It's going pretty good.
red bear.
Baby.
Wow, Legos.
Okay, I have this marble.
Ooh, that's a heavy one.
Ooh.
Oh, this is a good boat. All right, I'm a yellow person.
What else? A key.
Let's put the cat in there. Meow.
Whoa. And the pom-pom.
And the plate. It held everything.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Wow.
So I wonder for another challenge,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the next time you try building a boat, maybe you could try building it with half a piece of tinfoil. Or you could go outside and find some heavy rocks and try putting those inside.
All right, cool. We'll try it. Annie, do you have a STEM tip for us this week?
Absolutely, Becky. This week's tip is about the E in STEM, which stands for engineering. Engineers are people who build things that solve problems. Just like you built a boat that could help keep people afloat, they didn't want to sink. Engineers build things that help people do other things. And when you or your child practice skills like asking questions, how can I build this boat? Or making a plan, imagining solutions, just like you were thinking of that raft you knew about. These are skills that you can use as an engineer to build solutions, but also in everyday life to make your lives better. Engineering also builds really important social emotional skills like empathy, since we often have to think of others when we're asking questions and considering the needs of others as we design.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have 4 picture book recommendations for you today. The first one is called Things That Float and Things That Don't by David A. Adler. This is a fun picture book that both walks children through fun ways of experimenting with floating, like we did today by collecting supplies and making predictions, and at the same time, it explains the science behind what makes things float and what density is. The next book is called Sailboat, and this is by Thyra Heder, and this is a new book this year, one of my favorites that has come out, and it is about a boy named Sal who imagines how nice it would be to be alone on the water, just kind of by himself. And so he decides to build a boat, and he goes around his community collecting supplies from all these different people, from his attic, from these work sites and stuff. And along the way, everyone in his community has like advice to offer, or they want to help him. And he says, I got it. I don't need your help. I've got it all planned out. And he builds this really complex thing that maybe doesn't look like a boat. It looks a little bit more like a tiny house to me. And when it's finished, it's beautiful. And they say, aren't you going to launch it? And that's another problem for him to solve. And he ends up getting so frustrated. He's about to destroy his boat. And the community comes back out and makes him let them help him. And he finds that he does love to be alone on the water, but he also loves to have the people with him helping him. And I think this is a beautiful story about a boat and what it takes to get it to float, but also about like community. Our next one is called What Floats in a Moat. It's by Lynn Berry with pictures by Matthew Cordell, and it follows this goat and this hen who are trying to deliver something to the castle, and hen thinks they should just take the drawbridge, but goat says this is a time for science, and they're going to make a boat to get across. And so they try 3 different ways of making a boat to get across the moat. And similar to our experiment, they do some trial and error. And do they get across? You will just have to wait and find out. Finally, we have this book, Float, by Daniel Miyares. And this is a wordless book. Very beautifully illustrated. And it follows a child on a rainy day as they take a little newspaper folded boat out to play. These kinds of wordless books are great for dialogic reading, which means simply talking with your child about what's happening in the book as you read it and asking them questions about what they see and letting them kind of lead the storytelling.
Becky, do you want to sing some songs?
I'd love to.
Sweet. Let's start with Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Do you know this one?
I do.
Okay.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Do you want to do it in a round?
I would love that.
All
Do
right.
you want to start us off
Sure.
and I'll come in?
I'll start.
Okay.
Row, row, row your boat gently
Row,
down the
row,
stream.
row your boat
Merrily,
gently down
merrily,
the
merrily,
stream.
merrily, life
Merrily,
is but a
merrily,
dream.
merrily, merrily, life is but a dream.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For our next song, I brought out our friend Monty.
Hi, Monty.
Ruff. This one is called Two Little Boats, and this was a really fun one to do if you've got a little baby or a toddler on your lap, but you can also make the motions on your own. So it goes, we're going to rock front and back like this. We're going to rock Monty, and it goes, two little boats went out to sea, all as calm can be. Gently the wind begins to blow. Two little boats rock to and fro. Loudly the wind begins to shout. Two little boats, they bounce about. Stop goes the storm, the wind and rain. And two little boats sail on again. Thanks for watching, everyone, and special thanks to Annie and OMSI for doing these pre-K packets with us. Don't forget to pick up your packet at the library while supplies last, and we'll see you at the library.